Got up there and he started like hitting it out of his hand like he was serving illegally, but it didn't matter because no one cared.
Sure.
So we played 2 or 3, rounds, and then about halfway through, he was totally sandbagging me, and halfway through, he destroyed me. The guy in the Raiders was like, I was like, oh, yeah, let's just play, and I don't want him to feel bad.
Right.
And then he turned and literally got as many points as we played to the end of the game, and I got none.
So he was basically like white man can't jumping you. Like he wanted you to think he wasn't good, and then one minute he was like, oh, and just became like Forrest Gump.
It was fantastic.
Yeah. Huh.
So Raiders, am I right?
I mean, sure. It's the one time they won this season.
And also a lot of thanks to the Slide Bar.
Yes.
Absolutely.
For hosting
so
us.
great.
They are great.
And the band that played after.
The Curse.
Everyone stayed for that.
Yeah. They were good.
Cover band that was great.
Yeah. They were good.
Excellent work.
Fun times. Thanks,
Fun
everyone.
times.
See you soon. We'll do it again.
It's Kevin in the Morning with Ali and Jensen. LANOC's Alternative Rock. K-Rock.
Congratulations to our grand prize winner for Wheels Up trip number 1, Pearl Jam at Hyde Park in London.
So good.
I'm going to try and say this name right. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen.
Good luck.
Nicole Alvarez.
Tracy Cadwallader.
You definitely did not nail it.
No, Tracy you nailed.
Yes, I got that point.
Spell it out. Just
She's
spell it
from
out for me.
Beaumont.
Spell it out for me.
Cadwall. Ader.
Cadwallader.
We both
Sure.
have 2 different things.
Congratulations to Tracy.
Yes.
Tracy C.
Yep.
Can I see it?
Sure.
Cadwell. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's not an easy.
Cadwallader. Cadwallader.
I mean, you're looking at it and starting trouble.
Tracy
So
Cadwallader, right?
I
Yes.
mean,
Beaumont. Give a call right now.
No, we don't need
Tracy,
to call.
Tracy, you
Okay.
won. You're
All
fine.
right.
You don't need to call.
Won the trip to London to see Pearl Jam.
That's a big deal.
So
That's very cool.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
The news, it turns out, could suck.
Oh, yeah, this weekend especially.
And that's why on Monday mornings we bring you.
When you wake up, all you hear is bad news. So bad it makes you want to hit the snooze. But we'll try to make that feeling go away. It's time for great news today. Great news!
Not sure there's been a Monday, where we need this more. So I'm happy
Yeah.
that we can get these stories out and about to change up the feeling a little. Outside of a few unruly kids and maybe a bully or two, right, you'd assume that when you take a job as an elementary school bus driver,
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it stinks, but you're it's a tame thing. You're not facing too much at that age. Well, Paulette Rossi from Eastern Ontario, Canada, said she was acting on pure instinct when she had to save 7 kids from a burning bus within seconds.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
When she noticed a little bit of black smoke coming from the back of her bus, she knew she didn't have long since she had just refilled it with gas earlier that morning. And when there's any car on fire, it's obviously a huge possibility that's going to blow up. The 61-year-old hurried 7 children off the bus, and right as the last student was safely accounted for, the vehicle went up in flames.
Wow.
Completely exploded. We'll post the bus now on our Twitter at Kevin Mornings. It's basically burnt to a crisp. You'll see it looks like there are no survivors. It's bonkers. And it shows what would have happened had she not turned into this hero. And no one was injured. And not only that, and this is the part of the story that blew my mind, kids were got home within 10 minutes of their time that they usually are delivered. She not only saved them, got them into another bus, and delivered them home only 10 minutes late. I was like, that seems more like a heroic mission than anything else. She's being heralded as a hero, but she says the evacuation training she was taught by the school district is actually what saved the children, and she hopes that it makes people more persistent about their own lives, about leaving lights on or your fireplace on or whatever it is. She's very awesome, and in an interview, she wanted to make sure parents of the kids that were on the bus know where her priorities lie.
Kids are a priority, so the first thing is always their safety.
The kids have a very cool story for the rest of their lives as well. I mean, I would tell everyone. I was on a bus.
Amazing.
I jumped off. It exploded. I mean, it's basically an action movie. But what a hero this Paulette Rossi is. And school bus drivers don't get enough credit, in my opinion.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's why I picked it as my great news.
Wouldn't you, as a kid, be milking that?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm Kurt Russell. What? Now I'm an echo?
I don't know why that's happening.
It's great news.
And then
Thank you.
off.
But I would tell people that I'm basically John Wick.
Well, not only that, but when a teacher's like, hey, where's your assignment? Dude,
It was
my
in the bus.
caught on fire.
That is good.
Like every time your parents are like, hey, did you clean your room? Don't you remember I almost died?
Right. I was in a bus fire.
Yeah, that's what I would do. Because I'm an awful human being. Guys, we've all lost a wallet. We've discussed it on the show.
Yeah,
Your wife
my
just
wife
lost
lost a
one
wallet,
recently. You basically have to chalk it up to it's gone.
Yeah.
I
Give up.
now have to get all new credit card. God, I have to go to the DMV. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? Well, this is what happened to a woman in Philadelphia named Kayla. She returned home from a convenience store. It was a Wawa. And she realized she left her wallet there. But it wasn't just like a small wallet. It was one of those like wristlet wallets. It had a key to her house in it. It had all of her credit cards. It had cash. And it had her driver's license. So she's like, ugh.
It's the worst.
This is the worst feeling in the world. But she did wind up calling the store.
I called the store to see if anyone had turned it in, and they said no. So I kind of just gave up. I thought someone stole it.
The next day, she says her view of humanity flipped upside down. Her missing wallet was missing no more. It was inside her mailbox just blocks from the Wawa.
Nothing was touched, not a penny was gone.
But more importantly, she says, was a note left on top of the wallet. It reads, quote, I found your wallet at the parking lot at Tyson and Browse at 5:30 a.m. on August 1st walking by. My name is Jim. I am homeless. I hang out at McDonald's at Cotman Ave, end quote.
Wow.
So she sees this note.
By the way, that reporter's a robot, right?
He's definitely
He's
a
a
robot.
robot.
Like, he couldn't even make Wawa sound
Right?
fun. Yeah.
He genuinely has the exact opposite voice than me.
I am homeless. Yeah. Can
My
you play
name-
that part? Just
My name is
really
Jim.
quick?
I am homeless.
Like, it is the worst reading of a really lovely note.
I don't remember. I'm not sure this.
It reads, quote, I found your wallet at the parking lot at Tyson and Browse at 5:30 a.m. on August 1st walking by. My name is Jim. I am homeless. I hang
name
out
is
at
Jim.
McDonald's
I
at
am
Cotman
homeless.
Ave, end quote.
What is happening with that guy?
oh my God. This is terrible.
So Kayla does what I would hope most of us would do. She went to that McDonald's and asked around for Jim, met him, and he said, listen, it was the right thing to do. I saw that you live near here. I just walked over, put it in the mailbox. I think it's what everybody would do. And sadly, Jim, it's not what everyone would do. And you should be commended for being a lovely human being. And that's why it's my great news.
Did I miss that she gave him something in return?
Yeah, I didn't see it in the story.
Oh, Allie, that's not great news at all.
I think she's a real bitch.
I mean, Allie's part of it was great news. Then Jensen jumped in.
Let's focus on Jim.
That's an incredible bitch.
Come on. She got to give money. You were so lucky. You were like, oh, no one asked.
I'm like, hey, Kevin, what's yours? You got something?
Also, my bus driver was a Nazi. Just throw that in at the end. No, she was very nice. She was very sweet.
Let's just assume that she.
Yes, she went
Yeah.
there. She
Rewarded.
did. She went to visit him. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah.
she gave him something.
Okay. All right. My great news is Kamalu Rosa on the shores of Waikiki. He recently met a woman named Stephanie. She has cerebral palsy. And she's unable to walk, but she has always wanted to surf. To her, that seems like the ultimate thing. And he says, I can help with that. If I have the opportunity to make somebody's day and help them in the ocean, take them surfing, I try to seize the moment. So he grabbed his surfboard. He went out near the water. He came back. He picked up Stephanie, walked back to the surfboard, put them both on the surfboard, and took her surfing.
Nice.
And they were just out there having the time of their lives. He said it brought us both tears out there. She was excited and happy. It touched everybody in the ocean, in that part of the ocean. It was an unbelievable experience. And then mine continues, Allie, because I have great news all the way through the end of my story.
Is it about
Oh,
Kayla
good.
at the Wawa?
Did she get
Give an
money? Do you know?
Kayla lost her wallet at the Wawa.
I am Jim.
This is this guy's deal now. His goal is to help people, just one person on one person. I can take someone surfing if that's what they need. And I'm that guy that'll help. 2 years ago, he helped a man without legs learn to surf.
Without legs?
Yes.
How does he balance?
I don't know. I don't know. But it's this guy's thing.
It's very
I
sweet.
love it.
It's just one-on-one helping people who need what he already has.
And so many people who do surf consider it like their therapy, like
Yes.
in the morning going. I mean, it's a Zen moment.
Yeah, and he looks like he's in his early 20s. I mean, he's very young.
Wow.
And this is just his thing, to try and help people who can't get out in the ocean.
There are great charities like Life Rolls On. a walk on water, surf therapy, that do this, and they have events like every weekend. They do this. It's an amazing thing that people who think, oh, I can't do that. Well, yeah, you can, because there are amazing men and women that will help you. So you get to experience
guy
that
with
same
no legs
thing.
is surfing.
Right?
Come on, man, you can surf.
And that's my great news.
Kevin in the Morning with Ali and Jensen. LANOC's Alternative Rock. KROQ.
Yesterday was a pretty crappy day.
Yeah.
Especially here in Los Angeles. I sort of feel like Kobe equals Los Angeles. That's sort of how I felt when I saw that.
I don't think any athlete has ever represented the city as much, and I'm not sure any athlete will ever represent it more in the future.
It was a complete bummer. And during the day, they would ask other players what they thought. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, his response was quite moving.
To Kobe's family, I want to send my most sincere and heartfelt regrets and prayers, and my thoughts are with you guys. Kobe was an incredible family man. He loved his wife and daughters. He was an incredible athlete and a leader in a lot of ways. He inspired a whole generation of young athletes. He was one of the first ones to leave high school and come into the NBA and do so well, dominating the game and becoming one of the best scorers that the Los Angeles Lakers has ever seen. I had the privilege of being there when he scored his 81-point game, and it was something that I will always remember as one of the highlights of the things that I have learned and observed in sports. Rest in peace, young man. This loss it's just hard to comprehend. Go with God.
It's hard to comprehend.
Yeah, he Kareem Abdul-Jabbar really put it in perfect words.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when that popped up pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I was like, I love Kareem, and he's a writer, by trade at this point. But it is startling, and we've been talking about it all morning, but we're just so used to him being not human. You know what I mean? So
he was superhuman.
He did the unthinkable.
Yes,
every time you doubted him, it was like he went further. I mean, his last game, he scored 60 points. 60 points.
Yeah,
it's like
crazy.
you are used to him defying odds, and then to see him human.
Of course, it's dumb to say that.
No, but it's true.
It's to see him human. Of course he's human, but
I don't know if it's of course. I mean, in all of LA, we believed this icon. Love or hate him, it was like this was untouchable. He was a protected, incredible in basketball, and you forget that he was a family man. Sometimes even like he was just a robot of basketball.
Yeah,
and then to have it end in such a tragic way was devastating.
Let's also bring up who else was on that plane.
Yes.
Because not only Kobe Bryant, but his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, her basketball teammate, Alyssa Altobelli, her father, John Altobelli, her mother, Carrie Altobelli. He was a baseball coach at Orange Coast College and beloved.
And he was like the Kobe Bryant of community college baseball. He 700 wins. I mean, tons of championships. Incredible.
And parents to two other kids that are now missing, their mom, their dad, and their sister. A woman named Christina Mauser, who's a basketball coach at nearby Harbor Day School in Orange County, the school that Gigi Bryant had attended, who is leaving behind a husband and two children. A middle school student named Peyton Chester and her mother, Sarah Chester, and the pilot, Ara Zobian, who people are writing about this man who also taught people how to fly. Just by all accounts, just one of the funniest, most loving men. So there were 9 people on that plane, and I don't want that helicopter, and I don't want that to be lost in this as well.
Absolutely.
But we will take your calls on what did Kobe mean to you? What did you have an interaction with him? Do you just have a moment that you remember?
A moment you remember, yeah.
And we have a friend of the show, Brian, on the line. Good morning, Brian.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
Of course.
On such the days, it's kind of heavy and brutal, but I have a story about my interaction with Kobe that I think kind of highlights a thing that was underrated about him, and that was his sense of humor.
Yeah.
Back in 2013, I was working on a radio show in Seattle, and the Richard Sherman softball game was up there. And I, for some dumb reason, applied to be like a correspondent. We weren't going to play any of that stuff on our show because, the Top 40 show. And they put me on the sideline, and I told my co-hosts, hey, guys, I'm going to be interviewing all these famous people at the Richard Sherman softball game. And, of course, they're not going to let me just interview people, so they're going to, make it awful for me. So